It was the year 44 BC, and the streets of Rome buzzed with tension. Julius Caesar, conqueror of Gaul, master of politics, and now dictator for life, walked a path few men ever tread. Once a general of the people, now he stood at the very peak of power. Too powerful, perhaps. But power, in Rome, often came with a whisper. And whispers could kill. Caesar had returned from war with victories in his wake. He had crossed the Rubicon in defiance of the Senate. He had stood unchallenged against Pompey, against rivals old and new. The people adored him. Statues rose. Coins bore his face. The Senate granted him divine honors. Yet in the Senate's marble halls, unease festered. Among those uneasy men stood Marcus Junius Brutus, a man Caesar trusted like a son. And Cassius, sharp, bitter, and full of envy. Together, they feared what Rome might become under a single man's rule. They dreamed not of tyranny, but of the Republic reborn. March 15th approached. The Ides of March. In silence, the conspirators fled. They had done what they believed was right. They believed they had saved the Republic. But Rome mourned. The streets wept. The city trembled. Caesar's body was burned in the Forum, flames lighting the night sky. From his ashes rose not freedom, but fury. Mark Antony stood before the crowd, holding Caesar's will. He read of Caesar's love for the people, of gifts left behind for the poor. And the mob, in rage, turned against the killers. War followed. Blood flowed again. The Republic they tried to save crumbled. Brutus and Cassius would fall on their own swords. And Octavian, Caesar's heir, would become Augustus, the first true emperor of Rome. The betrayal meant to save the Republic had destroyed it. History would remember the Ides of March not as a triumph of liberty, but as the death knell of democracy in Rome. And so, as the winds whisper through the ruins of the Forum, the tale of Caesar still lingers. A soothsayer had warned Caesar, beware the Ides of March. He dismissed it with a smile. Caesar was a man of ambition, not omens. On that fateful morning, his wife Calpurnia begged him not to go to the Senate. She had seen troubling visions in her dreams, blood, betrayal, sorrow. But Caesar, ever defiant, brushed it aside. He arrived at the theater of Pompey, where the Senate now gathered. The room was not grand, but the air was heavy. The conspirators encircled him slowly. As if by accident. As if in casual conversation. Then, the first blade struck. Not in the chest, but the shoulder. Confusion followed. Another blade. Another. Caesar turned, he saw Cassius. Then Brutus. "Et tu, Brute?" he whispered. And with that, Caesar no longer resisted. He pulled his toga over his head and collapsed at the base of Pompey's statue, bleeding beneath the feet of a man he had once defeated. A reminder that trust is fragile, that ambition is dangerous. And that even in the arms of greatness, betrayal waits silently.